Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your
View. Thanks for staying with us. So prior to our topic last week on who is a wife material, we continue the discussion as we ask, who is an ideal husband? Every woman wants a man who makes her feel loved, happy, and satisfied. To some men with a great sense of humor, some intelligent, and what kind of kind-hearted man would you like to have? So we ask, who is an ideal husband material? Joining us is the veteran in the music industry, Edward Inyang, aka Blackie, in the building.
Fire boy, the Blackie. The
Blackie, where is Rosie?
So Blackie, we're just generally we just want to know who is the ideal man. But I'd like to throw that question at you. Are you an ideal man for marriage?
Ideal man.
Check yourself.
I'm searching my conscience now.
Assess yourself.
Well, I would say after deep reflection and meditation, I've come to the conclusion that what I provide and what I give out to the person that I am in a relationship with is close to ideal.
Okay.
And that just entails just having integrity, be a man of your words, also have a connection, have a true friend. If you genuinely care about her, you say that and you be that person to her. Because if she's looking at you and she has expectations and you're realistic with her and you relate and you connect and you love her not because of what you see. Yes, it's physical, there's a physical attraction, but you love her for besides what you see. Also the fact that you know she'll grow old and gray and sag.
But could you
Can
say,
you deal with that?
but is it possible that our expectations, you use the word expectations. Is it possible that our expectations are different? I, as a woman, what I expect from a man is different from what you think I expect from you. So I am thinking of a long-term, have children, have a family, have a responsible man who pays his bills. And you're just like, I just need a partner. I just need a comfort. I just need a, you're just saying, I need somebody I can trust, you know.
Yeah.
So our expectations are different. We women, we know what we want. But don't you think a lot of men, and I don't like ladies jumping right here. If the ladies, if you as a man feel men understand what we expect of them. But let Nima for you answer that question.
Let me just add to what Maria was trying to say. Every woman has aspect of a nice looking, maybe hard-working young man, one who pays his bills, like she said. But you know, when it comes into, when you get into marriage, the conversation might change a little. Where you now want someone who would probably be able to hold the conversation and listen to you. There are certain things where you get really emotional and you want a man that, you know, would listen. And maybe he's one man that's so hardworking, out of touch with all this emotional rubbish that women have.
That's right.
Do you understand? So how do you view yourself when it comes to that kind of thing? Because you've said you're hardworking, you have principles,
integrity.
You have principles, integrity, and all that. When it comes to that into the house relationship, a man who can hold the conversation, who understands when a woman is being emotional, her weak points and all that, who can handle it. Yes. Are you that kind of man?
I would say so to an extent. Don't forget that we're all in motion, walk in motion. We're trying to get better. But what I think is that the biggest problem we have are the expectations. When you meet a lady, the first thing you say, where's this relationship heading? What is your
very important.
What is your relationship plan?
Very important.
So this is where the problem is, and I've come to reveal some secrets that we have been hiding. Some of the guests that come on this show, the male folk, they don't like to talk about this, and that is that when you put that pressure, you make the man act the script.
It's not a pressure. It's just a conversation.
You know, when the questions come,
like
you make the man play the script. Because you're already saying, look, Oga, I don't want this relationship to pass 1 year. 1 matrimonial year, we must enter into this marriage.
Right.
You must start, I need a hardworking man, the man must provide. You know, you just be saying it in passing. The man is going to play that script for you. He will be that man that will pray from morning to night and even go to Jerusalem 10 times a year.
Right.
He is that man that is going to actually show you that he is the most loving on earth until you get married. So a lot of us are doing that now. And that's why a couple of my female friends that are married will tell me, hey, do you know that this guy was not like this before we got married? What did I get myself into?
So are you saying now that if you're in a relationship with a guy, don't ask him, just be doing boyfriend, girlfriend. No, just continue to play along.
It is called viewing from the mountain top. Do you understand? You see, because at that mountain top, why can't I'm about to land from the mountain top now?
Yes.
I need you to understand.
Okay.
You must have a deep level of understanding, no understanding now. I'm taking you higher. See, when you view from the mountain top, you can see him, he can't see you. You are observing him without him knowing. I'm giving out our expo, and I know men will not be very happy.
I need to really adjust and understand this thing.
But you actually have to view him without making any comments. Watch how both of you interact and see him for truly who he is. So that there's nothing like him telling you.
To your own conclusion.
That's right.
Not asking.
After that, then when you have the conversation, you will now find out from him where he lands, what position he takes. But if you think you're just going to go ahead and keep on giving him the expectations, look, this man has to be responsible, you have to work 9 to 5. He's going to do exactly what you want, and when you get married, he's going to do the opposite and say, oh yeah, do your worst.
Fantastic.
So, do you understand?
I think we need to digest that for a few minutes.
Digest it. The only thing I want to just ask you is, have you been playing that script? I think you just come out of the vehicle before you take that last step. So you want to marry me? I will marry you. You want this? When it's just time to, because you are still not married.
Why are you not married?
Almost the question.
Are you
people did not give me something to drink. Now my throat, I can't even talk well. I need something.
So you have all the theory, but you're not practicing it.
I need some drinking.
Can see the steam.
Yeah, okay. Because I thought you wouldn't give something to drink. What was your question again?
Are you married?
All this English you just put. Are you practicing it?
Tell us, like the pressure.
In my travels, being now 95 years old, going to 96.
Confirm bachelor.
A lot of people have said I'm an unrepentant bachelor.
Okay.
My mother is even tired of my matter. She said, Edward Young, when? You want me to be 105 before you bring my grandchild? But the problem is that she's seen the journey. And unfortunately, the kind of society we're living in now, there's no content in a lot of relationships. There is hardly, let me not be final on it, let me say, there's hardly any content in relationships because most of it is based on deceit. Most of it is based on deceit. And I feel, I feel that when a man meets a woman who, number one, he connects with, 2, he's in love with, 3, they connect, 4, they actually don't have huge expectations of one another, and also, above everything else, they genuinely care about one another. So this is when a man can descend from the mountaintop and say, this is my life partner.
I don't want this to be about Blackie because the truth is that it's easy for us to just start throwing questions at him. No, the idea is to have a conversation on how did you arrive or to meet, how did you arrive to the point where you said you're going to marry this person?
I want to make my own.
So let's say
I'm in pursuit of happiness. Yes. You have to be in pursuit of happiness. See, if you are single and you're happy and fulfilled, we work out, because I tell you, a lot of my friends are in their 3rd marriages, kids in different places. What exactly are we doing?
I think what you said is really profound because I think for me, I always say to young girls, by the time you start writing lists of who a husband is,
I had a list.
God will shock you. No, because the truth is that because we are humans, circumstances and situations will change our behavior. This is not how I used to act before. You understand? I have grown, I have changed.
Even since you were on the show,
do you understand?
The show of 3 years ago.
Yes,
it's not the same.
This is not the same me. So imagine if the man had written a list to say this is what a wife material that he was looking for. I am completely different from where I started. So that's why for me, I think it is about continuous growth, continuous improvement. Just so you look for a potential. Do you understand? When you look for a potential, you see that, okay, this person, I might be able to, live the rest of my life with this person. And if the question comes, you go ahead and you get married. Okay, because when you are thinking of, I don't want a man that will cheat, I don't want a man that will whatever, I don't want,
listen, because we're still talking general.
It's not general.
You're not saying your own. How did you know that your husband is the right person for you?
My husband, first of all, was very comfortable with me growing. You understand? I saw that this is not somebody that would compete. in terms of if my life, for instance, what I'm doing now and all that. So many men will not be comfortable with us sitting here, you know, on TV to talk.
Yeah.
You understand? So my husband was very comfortable. He was not the jealous type. I don't like a man that I am going out and you are asking questions, where are you not going from? And he was very caring. You know, I think he was very caring. In short, the thing that made me say yes to him, there was a day my sister had an attack in school, and she went into one form of whatever, she slumped. I called him. He was in Benin. He drove, you know, it was like, this is like a 1 hour, 30 minutes journey. He drove for like maybe 40 minutes that day and got to my school in Abraka and picked us up, bundled us up to the hospital. You know, for me, I had never seen a man, you know, that would just abandon everything.
Sacrificial.
Sacrificial. He's
okay.
willing to give.
Important.
You know, so for me, those little things matter to me.
Let me come
Not
to
I love you, I love you. I love you can fade.
Because it's important that we discuss what we saw in our husbands, because we're also trying to help a lot of young girls out there. Yes.
I had the list, and he met about 95% of them.
Okay.
Fire bones,
but the list grew. After I got married. I had a list. When I met him, before I met my husband, I wanted a man who was extremely cautious, someone who had respect, who could, you know, because it was important the way my husband would treat my family. I had a friend who was married at the time, and the relationship between herself and her in-law, from her husband to her in-laws, was terrible. So when I met my husband, those were the first things I looked out for, how he related with them. When he came to the house, the way he related, the way he talked to me.
But could he have acted that script according to him?
No,
because I was at the mountain top at the time.
You are the mountain top.
Okay, gotcha.
I understand.
So I watched him, and, you know, and very important too was that he was a successful person. He was doing well in his academics. He did well in his academics, and he had a good job at the time. Religion was a given, that one. So those are the things I looked out for.
Fantastic.
And
Okay, let's
marriage,
You are looking at the money in his pocket.
No, YK.
he didn't have money.
Very crucial aspect. A lot of ladies.
Crucial aspect?
Yeah,
Okay,
a lot of
we'll
ladies.
talk about that, the money part. Whenever we come back, we'll take YK's
Overshadows a
version.
lot of things.
How did you
we'll take your own.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
All right, thanks for staying with us. All right, we're hopping on the issue of money. And I wanted to direct a question to you, Blackie. Why is that men seem intimidated when women ask things? I mean, yes, we don't want women demanding things from men, obviously, because they expect them to be independent. But it's as though the moment a woman, the men shy away from their responsibility as men in relationships. As regards, oh, she's asking too much. She wants me to buy this, buy that. And it's like, women, I don't want to speak to all women, but some women are just like, they're not interested in your money. Really.
Is it really a man's responsibility?
It's not.
It's what we
Help
have
us
not.
ask them
It's
this
not.
question.
But a lot of men easily
This
run away. The moment a
matrimonial
girl,
question.
the moment a girl seems to need one or two things,
Yes.
the man start feeling as if, what is it, Seth?
Expectation, and you are demanding and all that. I understand.
Because if you have it, you won't feel like she's demanding.
Yes.
Well,
But because you don't have it, you now start getting all...
it is what society, let me just say, it's the norm. The abnormal one is what when you say the woman doesn't need it. What is normal in society is that when you're a man, you have a handsome pocket to show for it.
Okay.
So
That's
if
it.
you don't have that, if you had it, Blackie,
So that
Yes.
a woman
you won't
doesn't
feel
ask.
bad if she asks. Because Blackie, what's the Blackie W was
Some have
here.
it, they don't even
Saying doesn't
give
even
it.
mind taking care of his woman.
That's a
So because he
man.
has the money. But
But
you...
that's not a man, Nima. Let's
That's
correct
a
that
man.
notion.
Okay.
The fact that you can throw material resource
Yes.
at a woman
Resource
does
doesn't
not
make you a
define
man.
you.
Your
Resource.
ability
No,
to
no, no.
provide for your
No, no,
family
no,
the
makes
point.
you a man.
The valid
You are.
points hanging
No.
there.
Your ability to provide for your
Listen.
family makes you a man. And provide shelter, basic needs for your family.
Right.
That's when you are the
Nima.
head. That's how it
That's
is in
culturally.
society. When you want to flip it,
In the real
because
world, I don't
women
think
are
it's
now
that easy,
achieving
is it?
things.
I don't think it's
because
that
women
easy.
are now achieving things. You're a woman. You have a career. Then you can now say, no, I'm not that kind of woman. Let me tell you the
Nima.
truth. The truth was that when I met my husband, I didn't look out for these things. Do you understand? And slowly, gradually, it just became like, whether you give me, whether you don't give me. But sometimes when you see your friends being gifted by their husbands, you feel jealous. It's just, see, that's how it is.
Okay,
Okay,
let me take Zachary that comes to. I know you want to respond to that. Zachary, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. God bless all of you.
And you too. Good morning.
Yes, you know, you cannot. What I want to contribute is that it's not possible for somebody to get an angel, a woman who is an angel. So if this man is saying he cannot marry because he has not got an angel, it's not very possible. You pray and ask God to direct you aright. And whoever God gives you, along the line, you pray that woman, the woman understand you, understand the woman, and all of you will come together and build their family. That's what I want to say.
Thank you very much, Zachary. Let me let Owa respond, because I know a lot of you men feel that pressure to deliver.
And the sad part is that it's breaking up a lot of homes. Because we have defined the role of a man to be, oh, he must provide shelter, he must. Let me tell you, when God blesses in marriage, money can come from any party in that marriage.
That's right.
That does not, it does not demean the man's person as a man. A lot of men now, because they don't have money, you see them, their ego is gone. I mean, their self-esteem is gone, and they now begin to act crazy. Nima, please, we need to. It's not about providing food, shelter, and what's it called, that defines a man. A man is a man.
What Mr. Wishika taught us? What's happening?
Yes,
Blessing.
Ibuka
Wishika said something. That what defines a man is not the property he has.
At all.
His God-given role
that
as
is
a
his
head.
role.
God has given us. He's a head, divinely given. So not his ability to provide house. That's not what defines him, and that's where we always miss that point. But let me go back to. Let me let Waike come in here for a second.
Because I was going to say, if a man cannot provide those things, doesn't still make him
less of a man.
Doesn't make him less of a man. And it is our own role as women to now support him, compliment him. I'm not saying that you don't expect. Yeah, you can expect, but that's why a lot of men, maybe that's why Blackie here has run away from marriage, because everybody's coming. I want this. I didn't say he's poor. I said maybe.
You see the materialism.
Yes, what's wrong
exactly?
Fireball Satan. See, overstand this, that number one, if a man knows the woman is with him and it is money he has to take care of her, deep down in his heart, he knows that if that money goes, the woman is gone.
Exactly.
Yes.
We mustn't forget that. And that's why you shouldn't tie money to
love. And you see, the thing is, if that money, once that money should go.
Yes. What then happens?
Do you know
how many homes that women are taking care of the homes, they're providing for the husband?
Let me take this call and I'll let Nima come in. 1 second, let me take this call. I think I have Marvelous. Are you still there?
Hello, good morning,
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
And good morning to your guest. Moyo, you see, to me, I think who has hit the nail on the head. Because we need a man that is growth-oriented, a man that is willing to change, or that is willing to reform. I think that is an husband material. You may write that I need a man that is God-fearing, a man that is nice, a man that has money. I think the poorest man in the world is a man whose only thing that he has is money. A man who doesn't have character, who doesn't have attitude. He's a wasted man.
Thank you, Marvelous. Thank you so much.
Let me let Nima. I was going to say,
Nima, I don't want to lose that thought.
I was going to say, if you marry a man that has all the money in the world, and then he doesn't pay any attention to you, you are left on your own. He's out every day. He's with girlfriends.
Let me let
Nima respond.
And that's how they treat their women.
At what stage do you decide that whether he has money or not in a relationship is still the man? You first of all see his ability to provide before you get into marriage. You don't want to have children who don't have a fatherly figure to look up to. Now, when a man fails in all these duties and he doesn't care about it, that's the point. Because when you talk about him not, some men I see men who don't even know what it is to have a family and be a father. That's the point I'm making. A man's ability to provide for is a very important role that society has defined over time. Whether a man overhears it or not is the issue. But and Blackie just buttressed my point now. Over time, before our generation, our mother's generation who were not educated provided for their families. Not because their husbands were lazy. What I'm trying to emphasize on is don't be a lazy man and still say I'm the man.
Do
you understand? A woman can provide for her family, but a man always knows that he's being helped.
Even if you're a lazy man, he's still a man.
No, that's the thing. That's the point we're trying to make. Let me take Michael.
When you're a lazy man, you're not a man.
That's where we're different.
A hard-working man knows his responsibilities and takes care of it. My father always says something. I hope I'm making sense, but I hope I'm not being misunderstood. Having responsibilities and meeting your responsibilities.
Yes.
Your ability to meet that responsibility is very key.
Nima, hang on. Let me take it from Michael. Are you there? Thanks for calling, Michael.
Needs to turn down.
We can't hear you. You need to turn down your volume of your TV. Sorry. So we have to cut you off. Sorry about that. Yes, Blackie.
Okay.
I think what is something.
No, I was just trying to say that it can be unfortunate. Look, some men, you get married and then things start going on a downturn for you. And so things just don't work out. And so for most of the marriage, the woman is the one propping her man up. But a lot of people don't even know that on the outside, because the woman is that virtuous woman that we all pray for, and she just covers those things. But when you start putting that pressure, that's why a lot of men are now jumping into lagoon, into ocean.
Exactly.
Because they are saying to themselves, I can't even provide for her, I can't pay school fees, I can't pay rent. Why am I calling myself a man? Already it's bad enough that the man feels that way. So how much more?
But, okay, let me respond. Nima, let me say something to Nima. So a man is lazy. He doesn't have a job. He's jobless. You married him because hang there. You married him because you thought everything would be all right, and suddenly you now find out he's always slouching and sitting on the couch. Doesn't go any. Do you know your role as a woman is to bring out that man, that responsible man out of him. Right. It's not by making him into what he's not, but your job as a helpmate, as the person to help bring you with your encouragement. Gradually, he begins to find confidence in himself, and then takes on that role to support the family. Yeah. But his role as a man, he's still the head because he's divinely appointed as the leader of the house. So even though he's on the couch, you still need his permission, or his consideration, not permission. His consideration in things of the house. Yeah. You have to carry him along.
Which a lot of men don't get.
You can't say because he's on the couch, you now leave him. You now go back.
Why you want to say something?
I was going to just
very true.
Society puts too much pressure on men.
Much.
That's how, and so men now feel they don't want to get married because they can't meet all these pressures that expectations that society has put on them. So I think women maybe should take a step back and be helpmates, like Mariah said.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. You know,
I was sitting with.
Let me let Nima come in.
Sorry, we've overemphasized the part of women being helpmates, and women have overdone it over the years without even any recognition.
You're right.
And we see men who will say, go and meet your mother for everything, to their own child, and be comfortable in that zone. Right. Because, you know, I'm the man no matter what. Your mother regards me as the man no matter what. Right. But that child grows up looking at his father, looking at his or her father and saying, is this person worth being called? We know they exist. Yeah. We should be careful. We can't speak from both sides of the world. We should be careful not to
you are right to cite these examples. You are very correct.
If you have a man, wait, Morel, let me land. If you have a man of that kind of attributes, would you call him a husband material? In your own, before you marry him, would you say, I want to take on this case? It's a help case. Let me start to groom him out of it.
You have a valid point. I want to take this call. You have a very valid point, but we have to also look at it both sides. But let me take this call from Dr. I lost the name. Mona, are you there? Dr. Obai, are you there? Thanks for calling. Hello?
Hello.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is Dr. Obai calling from Abidjan.
Go ahead, please. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Wow.
Yes, I've been carefully listening to the conversation. And by the grace of God and the Reverend, and having been in this country for almost 20 years now, we discovered that getting married because of material things you get or the attention you get is not actually the proper thing to do. I could remember very well that I was interviewing a young man who wanted to get married. I asked him a question, simple question, which he couldn't answer. I said, what is marriage to you? How do you interpret marriage? He couldn't answer me. Now, simply before I get out of this, for me, getting married, before you get into marriage, love should not be based on what you can get. Yeah. Love should be based on love. I told the young man that you can marry by faith.
Yes.
Because I listened to the lady very close to Blackie, fair in complexion from Edo State. Yes. She said that she improved. Yes, the woman may not have anything now, but she improved. He improved.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. I have to cut you off there because I wanted to...
Can I take some tweets before you...
We'll take them to when we come back. Okay. I wanted Blackie to respond to all this they've been hearing going forward.
Well, you know, like I usually say, and I keep on, that both parties, the man and the woman, they have to connect. And without that connection, or with the emphasis on money and all the other pressures that come with it, a lot of relationships are going down the drain. Marriages are going down the drain with these things.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take some tweets from YK. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So let me start with YK. So you've not told us your own version. What exactly, how did you decide?
I won't say how did I.
Okay.
I would say what a woman should look for in a man is companionship, very important. Friendship, very important. A hard-working man, because I don't like lazy men. He doesn't have to have money, but he must have work. So
me, when I was single.
And the other one, we're not allowed to say it on TV.
Yeah, we know it already.
That's very crucial. That's crucial.
Very crucial.
I overstand.
Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. When I was single, myself and my single committee of friends were having a conversation. And one of them just said, my friend Ronke's son at the time, she said, I heard that those young men that are born in OAU quarters, they are the best. They're very responsible. I said, really? Yeah, so if you can find anybody that was born there, very responsible. I said, So when somebody could hook me up with my husband, I was asking the questions. Number one, he has to be born in OAU quarters. He has to be tall, dark. My husband is not tall, dark, and handsome. His parents have to stay together because I come from a polygamous family. So I wanted someone that had a mother, father, children, no auntie, sister, whatever, polygamous issues. I wanted someone that had a job, that had a BS, at least something that had education, that we can have a conversation. And the God friend was like number 4 on the list because I wasn't, at that moment, I knew I was strong enough spiritually. So my husband was born and raised in quarters. When I found out, I was like, check. Parents together, check. He's a lawyer, check. He now said, I live in Queens Drive because he said, oh, double check.
Double check.
So I was excited, Queens Drive, oh my God. You know, I think like Queens Drive, you know, we used to go out to days, hang out. You know, Queens Drive is there for Queens Drive. The day my husband took me to Queens Drive, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Fireball, Satan.
Right.
But that's Queens Drive.
That's Queens Drive. So, but I didn't judge him by that Queens Drive. I had checked all the major things I had, and that was what made me say, you know what, let's have a conversation. It was a good relationship. So let me now throw the question to you, Blackie, our guest. There are young women there. We've had our list. We've had our own desires and different things. What, as a man, what should we look out for? What should young ladies look out for? So that we don't get padlocked, number one, because we learned last week that there are some padlocked men. Yes. That will just be in a relationship, do not marry you, do not break up with you. You stay there. Keep you there. Waiting. So how do we avoid this? What do we look out for?
The padlocks. And I think you all might be a padlock man too.
No. I have multiple keys, so you can open at any point in time. You've been
padlocking lots of women. But go ahead, tell us.
Well, I think that the young ladies out there, they need to step down, relax, allow this, their blood is too hot, cool down. Try and at least, number one, look for your friend. Look for someone that you're in love with. Look for someone who you have a chemistry, because the chemistry is very important. You must have an attraction to the person. Okay. Look for someone that you like very much. Now, look for someone with the least tendency for his sense of adventure. You see, because a lot of men will not admit it, that we have a sense of adventure. And there is this quest you want to conquer. Now, that is the philandering, and that is the adultery and all that. A lot of women say, oh, my husband doesn't do it. But a lot of men, it's inherent in us. To a lot of men, I didn't say all, it's inherent in us to go out there and conquer. So you look for the man that you accept that, okay, his own is minimal. It is minimal. To outrightly erase it is a very, very hard thing to do, no matter how many times we come up here and lie about it. And the woman would say to us, no, that's how it goes. And the woman would say to us, you can do it, why can't I do it? Who do you think you are? But the man seems to be wired to always want to conquer. He would love one woman that he will come home to. But he will have the tendency to conquer in Mount Zion. So the least tendency
to conquer.
The list. You have to look out for that. If you're looking for a saint, you will find out maybe when the man has left this world, different children sprouting out from different homes saying, this is our daddy. But you, the wife, thought your husband was faithful to you. Then the woman thinks, and don't expect that when you're married, your husband will be taking you to the club. It starts to minimize. Some men will still go ahead and do that. Quite a large chunk of them will start taking their little girlfriends there. But The bottom line is, does he
his girlfriend.
truly, and exactly, if they could perceive that, if they truly, genuinely care about you, you are the wife, he will come home to you.
Yeah.
But he may travel and wander for a while. If you are ready,
is that acceptable? Should we accept that?
That is why I said you people may tear my shirt before I leave this studio, but let me just tell you and share with you what the man thinks. They would not admit, most of us wouldn't admit that, but it runs inherently. I've got a couple
Have
of
you
married
padlocked
friends.
some people? You, because you are not married, have you padlocked some women?
That's myself?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Are you in a relationship right now?
Right now, I'm hanging at the mountaintop. No, not in a relationship. Right. Why? Because I am one of those who stands up bold to say, look, if I'm not in a relationship, I'm not dating.
Mutazi.
I'm not going to put myself in there. But when I'm dating, you would know I'm dating because I give her my all.
Mutazi is asking you a question. Say, shout out to Blackie Young. Blackie, say, where is Rosie? You're asking you.
Please, can
Women
I take
like
some?
you.
Go to I.
Okay, you want to take some?
I want to take something. Ajibola Ola says, an ideal man can best be defined by the woman involved because of women's emotions, men must be versatile to be ideal. Akim Amao says, majority of men want to be responsible, but sometimes challenges can be posed at you. That's when your real woman will evolve. Stone says, an ideal husband is a God-fearing man. There is no perfect spouse. Just love God and love your spouse.
Abdul says, a man that sees his wife as an imperfect being and never takes advantage of her imperfection is a perfect man. Slim Jean says, why do wives that are breadwinners not submissive?
Let me ask like a quick question. How do I identify a man who's deceiving you? How do you spot him? How do you know?
Deceiving you? Now, the thing is that you don't put pressure on him. You don't start to ask, look, what work are you doing? Where do you work? What do you do? When you start prying,
go to the mountaintop.
You have to go to the mountaintop.
Mountaintop means just be quiet.
Yes.
Because at that point in time. Do you agree that because she's asking, it excuses you to lie?
That's what a lot of men, you see, a lot of men that are working out there, their self-confidence is very,
let him tell us.
Our self-esteem is very low. A lot of men, I hear from my girlfriends when they tell me what their boyfriends, the lies their boyfriends told them before they got married to them. I'm in shock. I, as a man, am weak for those men. So the thing is that if you don't pry as much, rather observe, pray to the Lord to grant you the spirit to discern from what you're hearing. At the same time, allow the man to be himself. Let him play it out.
Because all these counselors, all these mommies in Israel will tell you, ask the wise question. Ask him how many family, how many children, how many, you're asking like an interview. The men feel like they're being interviewed all the time. And I hear them tell young girls,
this man also wants to marry a woman he can trust. He wants to be sure that when you say no, your no is no. When you're saying red, your red is red.
I wouldn't have to ask her. I would
just observe
my interaction.
I agree with you 100% that you should observe and you should be able to discern from what you see. But it's also important that you're honest in whatever comes out from your mouth. And whatever impression you give, the representation you make, try and be honest 100%.
The honesty is for you to observe.
And honesty is relative.
A man confident. Wait, whether you're a banker or you're a bankier or whatever, something below, be confident enough to tell the woman, this is what I do. If you want to go the long haul, go with me. If you don't want to step out of line,
ask a man,
we have to round up.
You ask a man, does he cheat? And the man says
never.
And you say no. He's telling you the truth because he's not cheating emotionally, he's cheating physically.
Yeah, we have to round up. But Banky, I think what we've taken from this conversation is that women should stay at the mountaintop.
Yes.
Try to be less conversational. Yeah. Don't ask too many questions.
Don't put him under pressure.
Don't put him under pressure. Don't just observe and ask God for that discerning spirit to know.
That is not conversational. You are supposed to say less interrogative.
Yeah.
Because conversation you must proper.
Conversation is so less interrogative and look for a man that is less adventurous. Is that what minimal adventure spirit.
Yes, minimal.
Very minimal. That doesn't.
So who will not marry the people that have adventure spirits now?
Those one we like that way.
You will find out.
For Bara the lion, there's never the lioness. So trust me. All right, that's all we can take. Thank you, Blackie.
Thank you. People love you so much on Twitter.
Yes, so there's so many tweets.
All right, that's all we can take on the show. I hope you learned as much as we did. Women, single women, mountaintop. Just observe. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Nice one.